Greetings, dear tutor. Let me introduce my activity and final task. My outstanding experience. My name is Wilmer Prada Sancho. Let's start with the first item, practice process summary. Next item, describe the classes you prepared and the ones you attended. The classes that we prepared were done with a purpose. Achieve an enjoyable experience where each participant can feel sure and comfortable. With our sessions, we look for developing a structure between the easy way to understand and an intermediate or basic topic according to the context of the participants, and the definition of the method that we using. The classes which we attended had a particular aspect. They were focused on facilitating the learning by means of practice activities and giving feedback when some participants had questions or made mistakes. Next item, mention the teaching methods or approaches you work with. The methods which we work with were the grammar translation method, the natural approach, and the final one, task-based learning. Next item, choose a few photos, screenshots, or class materials. In this moment, I am sharing some photos, screenshots about my work as a group. I am sharing some screenshots of my attendance of another sessions, some particular resources, etc. Second item, outstanding experience. Next item, name your most impactful practical moment. The most impactful practical moment was of another session done by classmates of the course using a teaching method. Next item, explain what made it stand out and what innovative strategies were applied. This moment stood out for me particularly because it was something that was unexpected. A lot of classes or sessions where I have been attending, it always had been traditional teaching, giving feedback, teaching concepts, and this session changed completely this mechanic. Personally, I feel that session contributed to each participant could have an enjoyable CAD moment. By using the audiolingual method, I am using the imagination when the tutor was reading a fantasy story. Simply, it was a gratifying moment. Next item, highlight any results or positive impact on student learning. I highlight a positive impact on student learning in our sessions, given that some students mentioned that they liked the session and the methodological structure. Some participants commented on us that they would like to attend more scheduled encounters. When we were developing our sessions, the participants at the moment in the chat wrote their personal thoughts, manifesting positive support and some positive comments. Also, with each activity gave feedback and positive corrections, demonstrating empathy and respect for their answers. Third item, reflective questions. Answer this bravely using clear, influencer-style language. First question, has this course contributed to your knowledge of teaching methods? Undoubtedly, this course has contributed to develop an approach more analytic regarding to English teaching. Part of my life, I had believed that the teaching consists in just that, teach concepts in front of the board, but now that I finished this course, I can see the tools and methods behind of this with the purpose to achieve a clear structure of our classes. Also, I can see the study and the theoretical arguments that support these methods, where each one has its own structure and development, what makes the difference between itself. Next question, where it is important for a teacher to know about different methods and approaches? It's important to know different methods and approaches given that this allows us to build a clearly defined structure and determine the purpose of our classes and sessions that carry on. Keeping in mind the difference between methods and approaches, we can follow the principles that this indicates of us, step by step, and arguments that support them. Next question, what research problem did you identify during your observational practice process? Particularly during my observational practice, I identified that a lot of students are following the traditional method with an unclear purpose. I noticed that some tutors didn't have those qualities to develop a teaching process, which I can conclude with that is lack of engagement or purpose with the session. Some participants feel tired and bored, giving as a result a frustrating class, boring and confusing. Final item, closing message. Share one inspiring takeaway or tip for other teachers. An inspiring takeaway or tip for other teachers that I will give is trying to be a participant more of the session, because when we add or develop our classes in this way, the student can feel more comfortable and having more confidence with us. Understand this perspective, we will achieve a better results, not always in our job or daily life as our teachers consist in teaching traditionally, but looking for innovative methods, for instance, gamification. That was all. Thank you so much, teacher. Bye bye.